Support for Radio Friends comes from Librarian Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact Librarian Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Monday, February the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, and we're right in the middle of Black History Month, and that's our topic for today. I want to introduce you to Rachel Brekhus. Good to have you here, Rachel.
Thank you.
You were telling me before we came on, because I was asking you about the history of Black History Month, and you said it started out as Black History Week. When was that?
That was sometime in the early 20th century, so around 100 years ago or so.
And then it became Black History Month. What was the main reason or the most important reason why Black History Month came about?
You know, I would have to do as a librarian, a bit of more research about the context of the founding of Black History Month in its time. However, today I can tell you that it's a way that all Americans can get a little bit beyond the sound bites and the most superficial facts of the Black involvement in U.S. history and the fact that kind of that the Black people existed in this country since before it was a country and have done many things. Getting beyond the most basic things. Like, for example, I grew up in Maryland, and there was a part of fourth grade history where you learned about Maryland history. And we learned about Harriet Tubman because Harriet Tubman was from Maryland, and we learned that she founded the Underground Railroad and managed to help people escape from slavery in the South and come to safety. And that was great to learn, but that was kind of the soundbite version. And in Black History Month, we can learn things like she was a Union spy. I mean, she was not simply someone who, it was plenty that she managed to physically get people out of harm's way, but she was also providing information in the context of the Civil War, and in that way it was a military mover and shaker as well as just the immediate thing that you learn about her. It's a chance to really get in depth about really interesting and important parts of the history of this country and the world.
Now, you mentioned the Underground Railroad. Go a little more into detail about that.
Well, the railroad is a metaphor,
right.
First of all. It's not an actual railroad,
right.
Although there was a recent novelization that sort of talked about the railroad as a literal railroad, but it was not a literal railroad. It was a network, a social network of people and places, sort of, they called them stations, where an enslaved person could go from one to the other and hide away. In safety, and then until they got to the next station, and eventually they got to the part of the country, and possibly even out of the country to Canada, to where the laws of enslavement no longer applied, and they could live in freedom.
Yeah. When you talk about slavery, some people would like to just sweep this under the rug, but it is part of the history of this country.
Oh, it's part of the economic development of this country, and people often think that it was only the South that was involved in slavery. Not really. I mean, the North made a lot of money selling cotton that came from the slave economy in the South, and fortunes were built in the North based on that. And so really, in this country, nobody's hands are clean when it comes to slavery.
When you think about Black History Month now in 2023, what are you trying to accomplish with this, and especially with the university?
It's a good chance to get together with the public library to sort of bring an event that's really a lot of fun, that gets beyond. I mean, I think many people, when you say, if you were to do a word association test, you might say Black history, and you might come up with important names: Martin Luther King Jr., Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, people. But one of the terms that would come up probably right away in word association is slavery, and part of what we're trying to do is expand far beyond that and sort of say, I mean, there is a whole period after slavery that's important for the way that the United States has turned out today. There is a whole period before slavery during which not all Black people were voiceless. There was just a job candidate who came yesterday to apply for a Black Studies position at Mizzou, and his whole topic was the universities in the North where there were Black students and how they get, like at Oberlin College, the commencement speaker one year was a Black woman who gave abolitionist speeches. I mean, it was not as though even during the time of slavery that all Black Americans were completely suppressed in their ability to act.
We're almost out of time here, but there are a couple of events that you wanted to mention.
Yeah, well, let's see. I know we're having an international speaker on the 28th. I don't know as much the details on that, but keep your eyes open. Yeah, 28th of February. You can just Google Black History Month Mizzou to get all of the different events and speakers that are coming on campus. But the event that I've been most involved in is Trivia Night, and it is 25th of February at the Columbia Public Library. 6 o'clock dinner. We're providing dinner, and 6:30 is the gameplay begins. And we've had a good turnout of people from MU and people from outside of MU. We've had families come and get library cards for the first time there, and it's a lot of just good, clean fun. And my piece of advice, if you want to win Trivia Night, is build a diverse team. You don't even have to come with a team. You can just form a team with the people that show up. And the best teams, the ones that win, are the ones that have older people and younger people and MU people and not MU people, Black people, not Black people.
Okay.
I mean, the more diverse, the better.
Very diverse.
Yes, that is the winning strategy, I can tell you right now, because we pick questions from all eras. We have multimedia questions, name that tune questions. We have local people in questions.
All right.
Yeah.
So the date is February the
25th. Saturday night. Yeah, we are opening we are kind of closing down the public library. It's going to stay open just for us.
Okay, that will be February 25th, Saturday night,
yes.
6 o'clock. How do the people, how do they get tickets or be part of it?
Well, the event is on the public library calendar, and you can also go to library.missouri.edu/trivia. Right. That is the registration form.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for coming by. It was a pleasure chatting with you, and I picked up some good information today from you.
Good.
Appreciate it. All right, if there's something you'd like to hear or see, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email. That's pepperp@missouri.edu.